So there's some real interesting news kind of emerged last 24 hours or so regarding Aaron Wan-Bissaka and Mazraoui. It's been reported that Wan-Bissaka could find himself leaving Manchester United and heading over to West Ham. And you can see why that deal makes a lot of sense. Obviously, with him approaching the end of his contract and United being in a situation where people walking out for free is not really an option for us. And if that deal were to happen, we are going to need to replace him properly and perhaps put a little bit of pressure on Delot in doing so as well. And I think one of the best options on the market would be Noussair Mazraoui. And he ticks all of the Ten Hag transfer boxes, not least the fact that he worked with him previously at Ajax. He came through at Ajax. He spent a huge amount of time there before he moved to Bayern Munich in 2022. And he's extremely versatile, both positionally and technically. He gets forward. He really suits, well, obviously, how Ten Hag plays. He's got confidence in everybody around him and breeds confidence in everybody around him because he's a technical player that can take hold of the ball. And there's an expectation that when you're going to be dominant in possession and holding the ball, I think that really elevates what you're going to get with Mazraoui. I don't think he's almost polar opposite to what you get with Wan-Bissaka, where he would be better, like at West Ham, in a team that's probably not going to have all the ball and not going to be on the ball too much. Mazraoui gets on the ball, operates like a bit of a right wing back. He can play on the left as well if need be. I would argue all of his good traits come in the final third. And if you're going to start looking at those 3-1-6, 3-2-5 kind of in possession shapes, Mazraoui on that side as Ahmad tucks back into the half space makes so much sense. He's a bit of a progressive machine. Everything he does seems to be the end with the end goal of moving the ball forward. He finds himself in the 96th percentile for progressive passes versus other fullbacks. And we think about how crucial progressive passes are for fullbacks in the modern game. It's even more impressive that he finds himself that highly ranked amongst other fullbacks. He rarely loses the ball. And again, that's quite impressive because he probably prefers the pass over the dribble. He's in the 88th percentile for passes attempted, 97th percentile for pass completion. He retains it and he moves it forward. And he ain't small neither. He's a 6 foot in height. He's got a decent build on him. He's pretty strong aerially and he's quite decent at it. I would also say that you do see him substituted late in games when Bayern need to hold on to a lead, and that possibly is because his sort of first instinct is get forward, but it's not a fitness issue. It's a tactical issue, I would say. But he's a player that's full of stamina. He covers acres of ground. He is up and down like a Duracell bunny, and he has been a bit of an asset off the bench for Bayern as well. With interceptions, like I said, solid in the air, wins the ball in real dangerous areas when pressing. He would be a different but viable option or alternative to Delot. He moves the ball forward. He gets past people, he carries it past people, but he does decent defensively as well. And I think whether or not we were selling Wan-Bissaka, a more modern right back, a right back more suited to how we think Erik ten Hag wants to play, is going to be a better option for us. Wan-Bissaka is fundamentally different to Delot, and sometimes that has its traits and uses. And in certain games you go, actually, Wan-Bissaka's the better option here. But if he's got his heart set on leaving and the club aren't keen on keeping him, giving him a new contract, it's time to move him on and it's time to bring somebody in. And even though I think Mazraoui's got similarities with Delot, I think that there's a quality alternative in there with a couple of key differences that could allow him to stand out in a United shirt. And he also has that pedigree that we're looking for. He's done it at Bayern, he's done it at Ajax. He would cost not much more than what we would get for Wan-Bissaka. So rarely do you lose a player and get a chance to upgrade them without spending serious amounts of cash. But I think this would be one of those opportunities. And it's turning into a window, isn't it, where you're thinking, like, going into the start of a window, because of the way Manchester United used to operate, you're in the sort of mindset of, like, look, 4 players is a lot of players. We've had a couple boshed out before the end of July, and there's a lot of July still left to play. We could end up with more signings before the end of July. We could end up with more signings before the end of the week. We are moving with a quickness and an efficiency that just hasn't been seen at Manchester United post Alex Ferguson. So if we get the opportunity to get him in and to ship Wan-Bissaka off, United have managed to flip this into our favour for once. You know, this is not sell Ronaldo and get Valencia. It's obviously nothing like that. But we've done well here. Like, we have not weakened the side at all if we manage to bring Mazraoui in and we let Wan-Bissaka go. We've brought in players more suited to the style of play that we want to play. So I'd be very happy with it. But I'm, as always, keen to know your thoughts on this. So please give us your thoughts. Do you think this one could happen? Would you like this one to happen? And I will catch you in the next one. Laters.
Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.